Hello, gang. Good evening. It is 12:30 Eastern Time and 11:30 Central Standard Time. It has been a very, very long day, and I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible. I misplaced my wallet. I have no idea where it's at. Um, so if you find it, please return it. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. So, currently right now we're at over 61,000. Let's see here. We did um withdrew $1,700 from this account. This makes the fourth time that we would have withdrawn $1,700 from this account. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's do a little quick math on that. So I believe it's four. So we withdrew $6,800 from this account in the past 4 months. All right. So currently live, we're up $335. On the last video on week 12, when it was live, I believe it was at $300 or $600, and right after it changed and went down $96. And I misspoke and said 96,000. I said I was down 96,000, but really what I was trying to say is I was down $96 because it just shifted from a positive 300 to a negative $96. So my mistake on that. I misspoke. You guys called it. You called it out. Appreciate you bringing it to my awareness, because I was confused as to what y'all was talking about when you said down 96,000. I'm like, what are they talking about? But I went back and watched the video once I saw what comments the videos were on, and I tried to type out what happened. All right. So for the day, we are up over $1,600. For the week, we are down over $2,400. For the month, we are up over $29,000, 90%. For the 3 months, we're up over $37,000, 154%. For the year, we're up over $36,000 for 141%. I mean, year to date, excuse me. For the year, we're up over 36,000 for 142%. And all time, we're up $28,485 for 85%. Let's check our buying power right quick. All right, so we have borrowed. Well, we have a margin available of 50,000, and we have borrowed 45,000. We have some buying power over 5,300. We're still considered low risk. We have a buffer of over $10,000, and the portfolio value of this account is over 61,000, and we're at being charged interest rate on the borrower amount for at 6%. As you can see, the daily interest is $7.36. All right. Oops, too far. Oh, this be tripping me out. All right. Anyway, all right. Let's get into it right quick. So Dogecoin is currently at 43 cent. We are up over $2,100. You can see our average cost is at 22 cent. Just over 10,000 tokens or shares. All right. Coney, current price is $16.75. Our market value is over 58,000, almost close to 59,000. We have a positive for the day's return of $735. We currently have profit total return of $6,751. Our average cost is $14.82. And I think you all are aware that our last dividend payout was over $5,400 at 2,700 shares, and you currently see that we have 35 shares. So we're waiting to see what this will be. Misty. All right, guys. So I messed up here with Misty. I got greedy and I bought 200 more shares of Misty, and that took me to 1,000 shares. But what had happened was, we had some pullback in the market after I bought these additional 200 shares. But in order to get those 200 additional shares, I end up selling out of my position in YieldMax, and I think I sold 10 shares of AIYY to buy the additional shares to get me to 1,000, because I want 1,000 shares. And then when I realized that I had used up all my buying power, didn't have any money available to withdraw from the account, because I need about $1,700 withdrawal from this account to meet my monthly bills, in addition to my check, my monthly check or my biweekly check. I need $1,700 just to cover my monthly expenses. So I withdraw $1,700 from this account. And once I did that, I didn't have any funds available to withdraw. So when I realized that, I ended up selling 200 shares of Coney, bringing my total shares back down to 800. But when I bought those shares around $34 and something, which brought up my average cost from, I believe it was 22.44 or 23 something. I can't remember right off the top of my head. Breaking my average cost up to $26.14, which I do not like. I wanted to keep it under 25. Um, but I still want 1,000 shares of Misty. So, um, I don't know what we're going to do going forward. But so we do have market value of 28,000, over 28,000. We have a positive day return of almost $1,000, and we're up $7,289.60 for almost 35% in this portfolio for Misty, which is still good. But anyway, we make mistakes, and I made one, so that's me. Kesley, nothing has changed in this account. We're still at 260. However, market value of 3,800. We should be getting dividends payout tomorrow. As you can see, there it is, pending. 300 for 260 shares. $1.22 will give us $317. All right, so we'll look forward to that. YieldMax, I no longer have a position, but maybe when we get paid out for Coney and Misty this month, we'll reestablish 100 shares of YieldMax. YBit, nothing has changed here. Still 1,300 shares. I mean, ooh, time to go to bed. Market value just over $1,300. Shares $100. Nothing has changed here. Still 24. Average cost 42. Down 236. Ulti, nothing has changed here. 45 shares. We're down $215. AIYY, nothing has changed here. Oh, I think I can't remember. All right, SMCY, um, we're down over $300 for 180 shares. Average cost is $30.41. SMCI, Supermicro Computer, we're up $30, 75 shares. Average cost $31.88. AMC, AMC is $4.95. It hit just a little bit over $5 this past week. And GME, we don't have any of this in this account, but $5. GME? That can't be right. What's going on? Ain't no way. There we go. There we go. Glitch, glitch, glitch. All right. And CRO is at, which is Chrono for crypto.com, is at just a little bit over 18 cents per share. All right, let's get quickly to the Q&A. All right. So I've tried to respond to the comments that you all guys make in the comment section of the videos. But today I thought I would just try to answer these comments in the video, make them live. All right. So here we have Nick White Knight 1487. The question is, the chart is useless. Just give a dividend per share. We can do the math on our own. Alrighty. Nick White Knight. If you go back and watch the video, uh, here on the thumbnail, I do give the yield percentages, but for each one that's listed, like YBit, I give the number of shares, uh, various numbers of shares, but that next column tells you the amount that the stocks are paying out per share. So if you go back and rewatch that video, you will see that I do give the actual dividend per share for each position. I'm not sure. I don't know if you only watched the first 10 seconds of that video, but if you watch, when I get to YBit Tesla, I give you and all viewers what they're paying out per share. But I also give you an estimate based on if you possess a certain number of shares, what you can anticipate getting paid out. And if I happen to own shares in that particular position, I will list the number of shares that I have times um, the dividend payout, and you will know how much I'm expecting. All right, next we have SERGEIZ 2465 asks, what's going to happen to these funds when the market crashes? That's the question. We haven't seen YieldMax in a bearish environment. I don't know, man. All right, so what's going to happen to these YieldMax funds once the market crash? And I'm sure he's talking about maybe my biggest position with Coney and Misty. Um, so when the market crashes, you have to understand that YieldMax does synthetic cover calls. So as long as Coney and Coinbase and MicroStrategy don't go bankrupt, um, in my opinion, I don't know this to be true, but if they're doing synthetic cover calls, which are calls and maybe some puts or something like that, it's based on volatility. So they're going to have calls and they're going to make dividend payments regardless of whether there's a 30% drop in the market. They're still going to pay dividends because they're running synthetic cover calls. Now, what would happen is the dividend may go from paying $2 to maybe paying 25 cents, but you're still going to get paid your dividends unless the company, the underlying position stock goes bankrupt. These high yielding ETFs is not based on earnings per share or your earnings report or any of your financials. It's simply these YieldMax funds along with Defiance, Neos, Reg Shares, Round Hill, all of these high yielding ETFs primary purpose is to generate monthly income, at least with the YieldMax. The primary purpose, they got some new ones coming on that's going to help those that maybe want to have a consistent appreciation and maybe avoid the NAV erosion, as some of you may be concerned with, which I am not. I think it's called the Big 12 or the Big 50 or something like that. But as long as these stocks do not go bankrupt, they will continue to pay a dividend. They may not be $4, they may not be $5 or $3. They may come down to 70 cent, 50 cent, 20 cent. But they're going to continue to pay a dividend from my understanding of how this works. So yeah, we may be getting nice high paying dividends now with Coney and Misty, but we know when the bull market cools, the dividends will be less, and so that's a given. At least that's what I understand it to be. But I still will be generating monthly income. So that's why I'm building up my position to acquire as many shares as possible so that when this happens, right? For Coney, we know that I have 3,500 shares, right? They last paid out, I believe, $2.02. So if that was to happen for this month, I'll get over $7,000 for my shares in Coney. Now, let's say I got 3,500 shares and we are in crypto winter, where Coinbase is um, retreated and its stock price, and they're only paying out, let's say, 50 cents. So even at 50 cents, I'm still getting over $1,700. So that means that even if at 3,500 shares at 0.25 cent, I'm still getting $800.75. So I'm still getting something. It's just not the bullish amount that I was getting, and I'm okay with that, and I anticipate that. All right, Blue River says, great video, man. Awesome. I appreciate that. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a like and some love, showing you some love because I appreciate the comments. Let's see if we got some more out here. Let's go back to our previous video, week 12. All right, let's see here. The traveling buddy says, I've got a similar plan. I hope to see us make all I hope to see us all make it big. Appreciate that. I said, let's get it. And then Stalled Abyss 839 says, yield trap portfolio clown. That's what he says. Yes, generally with high yielding dividends, they are subject to yield traps. And maybe some of these YieldMax are subject to yield traps. Some people may feel. I don't feel that way because these are high yielding ETFs purposely, and their purpose or they generate monthly income. So I don't feel that way. But if you get in these positions near the 52 week low, and you know it's a good reliable underlining stock, it's good. And then you just wait for the recovery and you make profit like Misty and Coney. I bought them low. They're up over, each one of them is over $5,000 or $7,000. So if I choose to bring out that, take out that as profit, I can do so. If it has a pullback, I may lose in value, maybe 4K, but I'm still up 2K or down 2K. Either way, I don't care because my whole purpose is just getting the monthly income. And if I decide to sell off a position at some point in time for profit, then I'll do so. But right now, I have a plan or an intent as to why I'm doing this, and hopefully sometime in the middle of this month, I'll be able to get out a video showing you my total debt, showing what I'm trying to do as far as to pay off the debt using these high yielding ETFs. Let's take a look at one more previous video comments and see what we got out here. All right, so this was on the group D we had for Misty of November. Albert 87NL says, I reckon with today's 420 call for Misty should be counted for next month's distribution, which would be easily another $4 with its uh, reserves made for this month alone. I responded, sounds like a win-win situation for us holders of Misty. Wish I had more than 700 shares. Laugh out loud. Another individual, Dan something, anyway, says I had 4,800 shares of Misty on Thursday, November 21st. I have to sell 900 shares because I kept getting a margin call. But Friday, I'm expecting $21,000 in dividend payout. I replied, I'm loving it, 21K. I'm trying to be like you. He replied, it's nice, but I lost 42K on Thursday, mostly margin. I had to sell off about 900 shares to cover. And I understand, I've been that. I had an account in Charles Schwab when I first started doing margin. I did that, and yeah, so I get that. But making that 21 right here for 1 month, he'll make that back in 2 months or 2.5 months. He'll get all that back that he lost. So just a small setback, but he'll recover. And I replied, I'm sorry to hear about that, but you'll make that back next month. I had the same problem with Charles Schwab. It was my first time using margin. I got greedy with Tesla. She had a huge pullback, and I had to sell my Tesla and Xim position. I think it was around 40 to 50K loss. I try not to remember it, but it was a good lesson on patience and greed for me. It was hard to understand the way Charles Schwab displayed their margin. Once I learned my lesson and saw how Robinhood displayed their margin, it was all game. All right, he says, I thought about using Robinhood, but I decided to use my Chase Bank. It's been pretty good experience. Do you like Robinhood? The user interface look to be easier to control. Yes, man, I do. I'm gonna reply. I don't know if he's watching this, but he'll see this. Man, yes, I love Robin Hood. Very user friendly. All right. All right. Let's see here. There was something in, let's see, let's get back here. And community. There was something out here. Let's see. Thought there was something. All right. So, yeah. All right. So that concludes the video. Appreciate you all guys watching. If you got any comments or anything, just drop them down. I'll try to answer them best I can. Once again, I didn't state this earlier, but I am not a financial advice. The things I do here are mine's only. You should do your own due diligence and your own research. I just try to show you what I'm doing and what I'm achieving and what I aim to achieve. This is not for everyone. Some people don't know about these ways of investing and they think it's either a Ponzi scheme or it's a yield trap. But I'm sharing what I do. So if I mess up and you see me falter, then you can say, yeah, I thought so. But if not, you can say, you know what? I may try to duplicate what he's doing. But all right, to each his own. I've got to get some sleep. It's been a rough day. My wallet is out there somewhere in the world, or either I've just overlooked it. But I'm out, guys. Y'all have a good one.